Hey everyone, it's Mike. I review nootropics and talk personal development, and during this video I'm going to talk about 5 nootropics that you can use to hack your brain. There's 2 kinds of nootropics. There are synthetic and then there are natural nootropics. An example of a synthetic nootropic would be something like modafinil. It's also known as the smart drug of Silicon Valley. A lot of people are using it in order to help them to work in a more productive, efficient manner even when they're sleep deprived. Another example of that would be like the racetams. And then you can look at the other side of the spectrum, which are natural nootropics. And these are things like teas, like herbs. Some fairly popular ones are things like ashwagandha, Rhodiola Rosea, and bacopa. So I'm going to talk about my experience, and surprisingly, there's hundreds of nootropics out there. However, fortunately, during this video, I'm going to talk about 5 that are worth paying special attention to, is because luckily we've had thousands of comments across this channel. I've read over 15,000 comments, so I can really look at what's working for the viewers and maybe what's not working. Before we jump into the first nootropic, which is lion's mane, be sure to click subscribe, click like, comment below if you could only be left with one nootropic for the rest of your life, what would it be? And stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm going to address the question of, can you mix these nootropics together? Lion's mane mushroom. This is one of my favorite nootropics. I've been taking it for years and I'm taking it almost every single day. This is the 8-to-1 mushroom extract, which you can get from nootropicsdepot.com. By the way, I'm not sponsored, but the way in which I'm using the lion's mane 8-to-1 mushroom extract is taking 300 milligrams 3 times a day. A lot of users often report feeling the same benefits across taking 500 milligrams twice per day. Now, what is lion's mane? It's a type of medicinal mushroom long used in traditional Chinese medicine, and there's a lot of benefits. There's scientific research showing there's benefits with respect to anxiety, depression, high cholesterol, even inflammation and Parkinson's disease. And if we browse on examine.com, you can see here there's benefits with decreased anxiety, even helping with cognitive decline, symptoms of depression, symptoms of menopause, and does something with sleep quality. What you can expect from taking lion's mane is an immediate decrease of anxiety. You feel a lot more present. You're able to see things with a little bit more depth. And you'll find that you're far more interested in people and even subjects and material. All of a sudden, life seems to become a little bit interesting. If you think of anhedonia and a loss of interest, lion's mane is pretty much the opposite. So suddenly, you just wake up and life seems a little bit brighter. You're able to see the brighter side of things, and that's why I really like it. And I have found, just as a side effect and a beneficial side effect, I feel a lot more creative. Think of lion's mane as something which will allow you to completely forget the past and start a new life, start new habits of thinking, and a lot which are going to put you into a positive momentum. How I'm using lion's mane is in such that I'm not cycling off of it. I'm using it 2 months on, maybe 1 week off. And overall, this is a great nootropic because it's relatively safe. It won't elevate your heart rate. It won't stop you from getting sleep or prevent you from getting a deep level of sleep. So it's a good nootropic that can pretty much help anyone. I feel comfortable giving this to my parents. I feel comfortable giving it to my colleagues because you feel healthy, you feel energetic, you feel like just a better version of yourself. Here's how it looks. It's like this little brownish powder. It doesn't really taste that bad. You can get it in the capsule form or you can get it in the powder, and they both seem to work very effectively. Alright, nootropic number 2 would be L-Theanine. This is an amino acid. It's found in foods, teas. It's most commonly found in green tea, and that's somewhere where you would have to drink quite a bit of green tea in order for you to get the benefits of L-Theanine. So that's where it really is magical as a supplement. You can get it in capsule form or you can get it in powder form, and what L-Theanine is responsible for doing is to help you with relaxation, really does help with decreasing anxiety, decreasing stress, and paying better attention. So under the influence of taking some L-Theanine, what you can feel is a calm level of focus, in that you're able to have a really good judgment of your priorities and be able to move forward in a very efficient way, and you're very precise with pretty much everything you do. So with L-Theanine, it's not energizing like caffeine is. However, the benefit really comes when you mix it with a stimulant. So the way a lot of people are reporting good benefits taking L-Theanine are taking it with some caffeine. So an ideal ratio is something like 100 milligrams of caffeine along with 200 milligrams of L-Theanine. And fortunately, good brands and supplement companies have formulated products specifically around that. So this is a product you can pretty much find across different brands. The brand doesn't matter too much. It's caffeine and L-Theanine capsules. As I mentioned, 100 milligrams of caffeine, 200 milligrams of L-Theanine. So the way in which you could use this supplement is once you take it, expect to get 2 to 3 hours of good productive work done. It's also energizing if you do want to use it for a pre-workout purpose, and what you get is you get the energetic benefit from caffeine, you get the mental energy, the physical energy, the ability to be sharp, be courageous, and have that unreal optimism that you have with caffeine, and at the same time you get the benefit of theanine in that you're able to have, as I mentioned, your judgment being on point, you're not making bad decisions, and you're able to move forward in a very efficient way. With L-Theanine, this is different than lion's mane in that you don't need to take it every single day to see the benefits. If you are to go a week taking with no L-Theanine and then you suddenly introduce it to your stack, or you have it once, you'll get the benefits from. It's a shorter lasting nootropic. It's not something you need to schedule to have in your day every single day. More so just when you need to have those 3 to 4 hours of good productive work done, then you would take L-Theanine once or twice during that time period, and then you can expect to get the benefits from it. So that's what makes it pretty cool. Although the dosage, this is something which you're going to have to try and test to find what's best for you. For me, it looks like something like 100 milligrams to 200 milligrams, and I'll use it 2 to 3 times a day, just depending on how much work I have during that day. But overall, I've not found L-Theanine to be detrimental to me in any way, but some users do report feeling a little bit too relaxed. It's neat that way. You can think of L-Theanine almost like the feeling you would get post-meditation. It can do some pretty interesting things when it comes to your brain waves, and that's why it's something which is definitely worth looking into. And I find that super fascinating, which is why L-Theanine is something that I usually take on my days off work as well. I've pretty much taken it like 95% of the days over the past couple of years, and I've not gotten any sort of buildup of it. I haven't really gained a tolerance, and I haven't had any bad side effects. So L-Theanine, 2 thumbs up. Nootropic number 3 would be Piracetam. This is where things get a little bit interesting because you can make the argument it's not a natural nootropic. What Piracetam is it's a really good nootropic specifically designed around learning. So learning retention, being able to study in a much better fashion. Your memory just seems on point and you're sharper throughout the whole course of the day. Like I find with Piracetam, I'm able to work just as efficiently at the end of the day versus the beginning of the day. You feel like your memory is working better, you feel like you can interact with people and your social skills are on point. You have more courage, you have more drive, you're waking up more ambitious, even with a little bit more energy, and that's why Piracetam, it makes for a good nootropic, and it's cool in that you can combine it with other nootropics as well, and the whole stack seems to work a little bit better. Yet at the same time, it's not stimulating. You won't find yourself overly aroused or too alert to the point that you're overstimulated and you can't get work done in an efficient manner. It's really powerful. I first started using it to actually help me with studying, and then once I got off of Piracetam, it was very clear that my memory was a little bit worse, and then I introduced Piracetam back into my nootropic stack, and it was very clear that the stuff not only was helpful with memory and studying, but as well even in sales. Like in a sales context, if I need to pound out phone calls, I'm able to do it consistently, be able to be in state call after call. And Piracetam is something which it's a little bit tricky to get right with a dosage. This is something which you need to be taking every single day in order to reap the benefits from. Most people report experiencing benefits with Piracetam after 2 to 3 weeks of consistent daily use of taking like 1 gram twice per day. You can even take up to 3 grams. Some people use an attack dose where they take more Piracetam for the first week, and then afterwards they just stick to maybe 1500 milligrams to 2 grams every single day in order to keep it nice and saturated in their system. And then there's other Piracetam which I've discussed on my channel, and you can take a look at this video here, which is an introductory video into the different types of Piracetam. With Piracetam, as far as side effects, nothing too concerned to be aware of. Here's what the powder looks like. You can almost see it's like snow. Doesn't really taste that great. Although it looks like creatine, believe me, it tastes a lot worse. So you can also get it in the capsule form, but it's a lot less expensive if you are to find it in powder somewhere. Nootropic number 4 would be Alpha GPC. This is a choline source. Choline is already found in a lot of foods such as egg yolks as well as some fattier nuts. What it's responsible for is, think of it like adding more mental energy, so you're able to fight off brain fog very well. Quite honestly, think of it like adding more batteries to yourself. If you're somebody that typically gets tired after 6 hours of work per day, with Alpha GPC you're able to work 8, maybe even 9 hours per day, because you're able to fight off fatigue. You feel like you have more mental energy to deal with problems. Like when a problem or an objection or a concern happens in the day, you're able to more efficiently move forward and not let it take a big toll on you. With Alpha GPC, you really just do feel sharper, your memory's on point, and you feel like a better version of yourself, and it's relatively safe. So the way in which I'm using Alpha GPC, I'm taking 150 milligrams 3 times per day. Although if you look at examine.com, here's what's really neat about it. There's not only benefits with cognition and cognitive decline, but there's benefits with power output, with fat oxidation, with growth hormone. We can see here there's 2 studies showing a benefit with that. So for those of you fitness enthusiasts, you'll find that Alpha GPC is also really beneficial pre-workout. You can even take a little bit more, like 300 milligrams to 400 milligrams. And it's slowly becoming a staple in a lot of pre-workout formulas, because with Alpha GPC, you're getting the cognitive benefit as well as the physical benefit, which is what you want. So I would rate it very highly. Just be a bit careful with Alpha GPC. Some people report that when they take too much of it, that they experience a bit of brain fog and they experience even depression or depressive symptoms. So what's so with Alpha GPC? It takes a bit of fine tuning. You need to find your sweet spot. For me, that looks like 150 milligrams 3 times a day. Some users report benefits across a little bit less and a little bit more. All right, nootropic number 5 would be Rhodiola Rosea. This is one of my favorite nootropics. I absolutely love this stuff. Think of Rhodiola Rosea to be like a nap in a pill, because upon ingestion of Rhodiola Rosea, I like taking 300 milligrams per serving. What you can expect is this mental clarity. It's almost like you've taken a 20-minute nap. So it can fight fatigue, it fights off stress. And once you take Rhodiola Rosea like right in the middle of the day, when you've accumulated a little bit of stress, when you've gone through a lot of the harder part of your day, what so is you're able to work forward more efficiently because you're pretty much like resetting yourself. That's how it feels. I'm not exaggerating. It is very strong. If you're looking to improve your work ethic, you even get like a little bit of a physical benefit as well. And there's benefits even beyond that, even with appetite suppression. So Rhodiola Rosea, if you're trying to lose weight, this is something which is going to cut carbohydrate cravings. It'll allow you to avoid unhealthy foods, even help you with binge eating. And as far as its effects on being a nootropic, you won't really find it'll improve your memory, more so like specifically fighting fatigue, fighting off stress, getting something for an immediate benefit. That's where Rhodiola Rosea is magical. It's not something which you need to take long term to notice the benefits from. For me anyway, I experienced this acute effect of like 3 to 4 hours of feeling a little bit more alert, a little bit more energized. Some users experience more of a benefit when they do take it consistently, like 2 to 3 times per day, and after a week you just feel a little bit less stressed and you feel like you're able to have a better work ethic. Although it may have that benefit, but it may as well just have that acute benefit which you need sometimes. So for that reason, I'm not using Rhodiola Rosea first thing in the morning because I don't really feel stressed at that time. I obviously feel alert, fresh, ready to take on the day, but it's after a few hours when you need something like this, which is just a little pick-me-up, but it's not stimulating like caffeine is. It's, again, naturally occurring, relatively healthy, and overall a good nootropic, irregardless of what kind of work you're doing. When I was a student, I was using it, and now I'm in sales and I'm making stuff like YouTube videos and content, and Rhodiola Rosea is also one of my go-to supplements for having a good, efficient, productive workday. It's an absolutely solid nootropic. There's no surprise as far as why it's in a lot of famous nootropic blends out there like Qualia Mind. We're looking at examine.com and we can see here there's benefits across fatigue, cognition, subjective well-being, meaning mood. And if we dive deeper, there's like 14 studies on showing its effects on boosting you with helping you to fight fatigue. Both genders, age range 18 to 29 and 30 to 44. That's really what it does. It's really to fight fatigue, help you get on with your day and be in a better mood. And if you're wondering, can you take these nootropics together? So I consider myself to be a nootropic enthusiast, and I've tried a lot of different things, a lot of different stacks, so I'm comfortable taking these 5 nootropics together, but for you, I would not recommend it. I'd recommend that you speak to your GP first, but there are some nice ways of going about that. Instead of getting them individually, you can just get a nootropic blend. Some of the most popular ones on the market are Qualia Mind, Mind Lab Pro, there's Alpha Brain, there's also Cognetics. Of those ones, what comes to mind first is Qualia Mind. I absolutely think it's the best nootropic blend out there. Although it is a little bit pricey, it does have over 25 ingredients. We're looking at the Rhodiola Rosea, the same dose I recommended, 300 milligrams, Alpha GPC, 200 milligrams. They've got the L-Theanine, vitamin B, vitamin D, C. They've got L-Theanine, they've got the L-Tyrosine, they've got acetyl L-carnitine, whole bunch of stuff. So this is cool in that they have the caffeinated version and they have the caffeine free. I have a 15% discount code that I will link in the description box below. I think it's an absolutely solid product, but Qualia Mind, you guys have competition because Cognetics is something that I've been exposed to, and this does have the lion's mane, whereas Qualia Mind does not. It also does have the Rhodiola Rosea, it has the L-Theanine, and it has choline, and it also does have some other neat nootropics. So this is a cool supplement that I've been playing with. Maybe a video is to follow. If you're on this channel in the first place, then likely you don't need nootropic blends, or maybe you do just for those times when you're traveling and you may not have like your scale with you. And the way I'm going to end this video, guys, is with an insertion of the other video I've made on Qualia Mind. You may find that beneficial. Click subscribe, don't forget to click like, and comment below. I want to know about what is your favorite nootropic. If you could only choose one nootropic for the rest of your life, what would it be? And I look forward to seeing you all next time. organic coffee berry. I'm not sure why they use that as the caffeine source. Coffee does have really good features when it comes to antioxidants, when it comes to anti-aging. So this results into 90 milligrams of caffeine. They've got phosphatidylserine. That is a really good supplement when it comes to essentially lowering your cortisol levels.